We're gonna make my famous sourdough. So we're starting off the day. With our bread, getting our bread going, and then we're gonna do some work outside. After the kneading process, this is what you're left with. Nice big old dough ball. We're gonna put that in a stainless steel pan, bowl to rise. Put a little flour in the bowl. Put a little flour in that bowl there. And pop that sucker in there. Cover it all up with flour, nice. We're gonna put that aside for now. We're gonna go light a rocket stove now. Wait till you see what I found. Morning. Good morning to chickens and dogs. Kaya, be nice to the chickens. So this is my find right here. Check this out. It's just a stump with a knot in it, but it ended up being like perfect rocket stove candidate. It's got a little input right there, little air intake there, and then it's got a big natural chimney right there. So we're gonna light a fire in it and see how it works. We got the electricians here today. Toby and Dan are here taking care of the sauna. Yep, Toby giving the thumbs up. They're gonna get our lighting in, get our switch boxes in.
Barking orders to.
They're gonna get everything in, and then we're gonna secure all that furniture when we're all done. But for now, so much fun. I'm a bit of a pyro if you haven't noticed. We're gonna light this rocket stove. So we just lit it up down here, and I'm thinking it's got so much air, it should catch really nicely, right? Let's see what happens. That's the hope. We're already pretty established. Check that out. I'm just gonna feed this. You don't have to feed it with a lot of wood. I'm gonna feed it, and then we're gonna just keep it going, and then it's gonna catch inside, and then we're done. And then we're gonna cook on it. So that really only took a few minutes. Went and gathered up some scrap wood and some twigs, and now it's blazing, and you know, it's gonna catch the inside of that log any minute. I think we're done. I think it's gonna be self-feeding after this, and we'll put a grate on top and heat up our coffee or something. We'll figure something out. Toby's gonna cut the power today to finish up the electric work. So when he cuts the power, if we wanna cook anything on the stovetop, this is our option right here. The inside of this log, this is an old dry rotted log, but the inside is pretty good. Probably gonna be self-feeding from this point. I fed it a couple handfuls of twigs and some wood scrap, and I think that's all I needed to do, and there it is. So we're just gonna let that go. I'll put the grate on it later and we'll cook something. Been rolling logs down the hill today. That was my morning activity. They're a little bit closer now. I'm gonna roll them all down to here. This is gonna be my processing center down here. This is where I'm just gonna split right in there. Dan is working hard, getting the power hooked up. You can see the heat coming out of the top of it. And you look in there and you see a nice fire, and boy, it's putting out heat. And then you look here and you've just got a steady heat source there. So now, I wanna believe that that's stable. It's pretty level. Boil some water on it, see how it goes. So we're gonna try and bake some bread over the rocket stove today. This is a big adventure. Ali found it in the basement. She found
my cauldron.
It's the cauldron because she is eine Hexe. So we're gonna. Ta-da! I'm gonna take one loaf out of here, and it's gonna be my experimental rocket stove loaf of bread. How exciting! Okay, cool. We'll be tuning back in. Looking good. Let's take the plastic wrap off. Yeah, that rose nice. Okay. Now we're gonna punch it down and let it rest for 10 minutes. Now we're gonna let it rest for 10 minutes. I put a little olive oil in here. It's a spray olive oil, which has a kind of funky smell to it. The propellant is like alcohol smelling, but that goes away. So we sprayed with olive oil. We're gonna do cornmeal, olive oil, and then let it do its second rise. It's looking pretty good. 3 loaves. Second rise, stoked up the fire stove. Toby's taking care of business. Everything's progressing nicely. So we got 45 minutes before we're ready to put the bread over the stove. We're gonna see how it goes. Toby, I'm gonna try and bake some bread over the rocket stove today. That's my experiment.
Nice.
Of course, it's not a party till you got Gene Smith Band on the radio. We're gonna take care of this guy today right here. Gonna split a couple logs. We already got a couple pieces off. It's splitting nicely, but there's some knots in it. So let's see how we do. Still rocking out to the Gene Smith Band. I know this song. That's about the amount of wood you get from a stump that's about a foot to 14 inches tall. And you know, like, I don't know, it's like this one here. 16-inch diameter maybe? That's how much wood you get. Basically a wheelbarrow full. And that's really nice hardwood too. So the bread's just about done on its rise. Let's see. It's looking pretty good. It's a little chilly in here now. It's a little cooler in here, so I'm gonna let it go a little longer. But the oven, we're gonna heat up to, we wanna bake at 400. So a little trick I learned, America's Test Kitchen maybe? Heat the oven hotter than you want it. So I'm gonna heat it up to 450. And then before you put your stuff, whatever you're baking, before you put it in, reset it to the proper temperature. Then it's cooling down to that temperature and not heating up to it. And it won't burn the bottom of your bread. So this is what I came up with. Not exactly level. I'll figure something out. I just have to be able to rest the Dutch oven on something. And I don't want to be too close to the heat because this is really hot. A little egg wash here. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. A little egg wash. That's what we're gonna do. Up, ready to go. I split the oven open. I'm gonna slide the bread right in underneath and kind of keep the oven effect going and see if that works. Total experiment right now. You know how to make $1 million in the music business? You start with 2 million. So anyway, I don't think I'm gonna like this setup. I gotta change this somehow. I gotta get it inside, make it more of an oven. So yeah, so it bakes more evenly. So I'm gonna work on that a little bit. Leave the chickens alone. So this is what I came up with. I just kind of got it inside of there. It's pretty hot in there. And it's a little bit more covered now. It's more of an oven effect. So we're gonna let that go for 20 minutes or so and see what happens. This is what I came up with, you know. I'm trying to adapt to my circumstances instead of trying to bend my circumstances to what I want. And this was not my vision at all, but this stump broke apart really easily. So I broke it up and I put my pot inside. So it's really inside there and it's really throwing heat. It's pretty darn warm in there. Let me just see what we're dealing with here. Yeah, that's a pretty hot, that's a pretty hot oven. So let's see what happens. We're gonna give it 25 minutes or so. I'm really curious. I want to see what it looks like. So let me see if I can just take the top off here and take a quick look without destroying everything. Get a look at it in there, see how it's doing. Oh shoot, I can't see nothing. I can't tell. Oh, it looks really brown. It looks really good. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Might be a little well done. We might have to take a look at it. Oh yeah. Wow. Okay, I think it's done. I don't want to burn it, but it looks really good. Okay, I'll tune back in when I yank it out of there. 20 minutes. This was 20 minutes in the oven, more or less. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna get it out of there and let it cool and take a look at it. Nice. You know, it's a little bit of an uneven bake. It's a little underdone on this side and it's a little overdone on this side. But the bottom didn't really burn, you know, but if you're cooking in some outdoor wilderness oven, if you can keep your heat regulated, I actually think the best way to do it now might be to just start a regular fire and get a nice coal base and just cover it up with the coals and let it bake, but it'll work. There it is. Oh, I can't wait to try it. Yeah, we're gonna enjoy a little breakfast. So there it is. That was Dutch oven rocket stove bread. Not bad at all, not bad. Beautiful day today. Kicking back. Toby. And yeah, it's beautiful.
See?
Schön. And there it is. Dutch oven bread in the stove, on the rocket stove. What do you think, John? You approve?
I have to eat it.
Eat it. Eat some. What does it look like over there?
Come in down here, look.
So this is the rocket stove that we started this morning. It's now 1:15 in the afternoon. It's only 1:15. I thought it was later. And this thing is throwing heat right now like crazy. It's an oven in there. We're gonna go around the other side.
This looks nice.
So, you know, we started this thing, I don't know, what time was that this morning? 9 maybe? 9:30? Yeah. So, you know, 3 to 4 hours later, it's still going.
Beautiful.
And then that's what it look at that.
How awesome.
Yeah, that's nice. Look at that. And that's what's going on inside. So the reality is that that's like an oven in there right now. So you know, if we wanted to bake more bread, we could pick that stump up and just put our stove in there.